What drives a person to destroy something beautiful, something meant for everyone? In the quiet town of Willow Creek, where the air carried the scent of blooming flowers and the park was the heart of the community, one woman's actions would unravel a tapestry of trust, pride, and shared history. This is the story of Karen Whitmore, a woman whose name became synonymous with chaos and the ripple effects of a single, reckless act that changed lives forever. Karen was a familiar face in Willow Creek, though not for the right reasons. At 42, she carried herself with an air of entitlement, her sharp voice often cutting through the calm of neighborhood gatherings. She wasn't always this way. Once, she'd been a devoted gardener, her backyard a vibrant canvas of roses and lilies. But life had hardened her. Divorce, financial strain, and a growing bitterness toward a town she felt overlooked her. The park, with its winding walkways lined with Karen flowers' delicate pink petals that bloomed only in early spring, became her silent obsession. To her, it was a symbol of everything she'd lost. Beauty, attention, control. The Karen flowers weren't just plants. They were a legacy, planted decades ago by the town's founder, Eliza Monroe. They were a point of pride, drawing visitors from neighboring counties to marvel at their fleeting bloom. The Walkway, a mosaic of cobblestones etched with donors' names, was a testament to community spirit. Each spring, volunteers gathered to tend the flowers, their laughter filling the air as children ran through the park. Karen, however, saw it differently. To her, the Walkway was a shrine to others' egos, a reminder of her own invisibility. It started with whispers. Karen would linger near the park, muttering about wasted space and pointless traditions. Neighbors dismissed her as eccentric, but tension simmered. Then came the night that changed everything. On a chilly March evening, under the cover of darkness, Karen slipped into the park with a can of red spray paint and a crowbar. Her target, the Walkway. In a frenzy, she defaced the cobblestones, scrawling angry words across the names of donors. She uprooted dozens of Karen flowers, their fragile roots torn from the earth, and smashed the wooden benches nearby. By dawn, the park was a crime scene, its beauty marred by red paint and broken petals. The town awoke to shock and grief. Claire Nguyen, a local artist who'd spent years sketching the Karen flowers, stood frozen at the edge of the Walkway, tears streaming down her face. "Who could do this?" she whispered, her voice trembling. The question echoed through Willow Creek, uniting residents in a shared sense of violation. The police launched an investigation, but evidence was scarce until a teenage boy, Marcus, came forward. He'd been biking home that night and saw Karen fleeing the scene, paint staining her hands. His testimony, coupled with security footage from a nearby shop, sealed her fate. Karen's arrest was a spectacle. She didn't deny her actions but defended them with a venom that stunned the town. At her hearing, she stood defiant, her voice sharp as she ranted about the park being a monument to vanity. Her words only deepened the community's anger. The town council, led by Mayor Evelyn Carter, filed a civil suit, seeking damages for the destruction. The Walkway's restoration would cost thousands, and the emotional toll was immeasurable. Clara, who'd poured her heart into preserving the park's beauty, testified about the loss, her voice breaking as she described the ruined flowers. "They were alive," she said. "They were ours." But the story took an unexpected turn with the arrival of Lila Monroe, Eliza's great-granddaughter. Lila, a soft-spoken botanist in her 30s, had left Willow Creek years ago, chasing a career in distant cities. She returned upon hearing of the vandalism, her presence a quiet shock to the town. At the trial, Lila took the stand, her words measured but heavy with emotion. "My great-grandmother planted those flowers to remind us of resilience," she said, her eyes locking with Karen's. "They bloomed despite hardship. You didn't just destroy plants, you stole hope." Her testimony shifted the room's atmosphere, turning anger into a deeper sorrow. Karen, for the first time, looked away, her bravado faltering. The trial revealed more than Karen's actions. It exposed her unraveling. Her lawyer argued she was under mental strain, citing her divorce and financial woes. A neighbor, Mrs. Jenkins, testified to Karen's late-night rants about the park, painting a picture of a woman consumed by resentment. Yet sympathy was scarce. The judge, unmoved by Karen's justifications, ruled in favor of the town. The fine, $180,000, covering restoration costs, legal fees, and punitive damages. Karen, already struggling, faced financial ruin. Her house, her last tether to stability, would likely be sold to cover the debt. As the verdict sank in, Willow Creek grappled with its own wounds. The park became a rallying point, with volunteers working tirelessly to restore it. Clara led the effort, her sketches now guiding the replanting of Karen flowers. Lila stayed, her expertise breathing new life into the soil. But the heart of the story lay not in the restoration but in its cost. Marcus, the boy who turned Karen in, began to unravel under the weight of his role. He hadn't expected the consequences to be so severe, and guilt gnawed at him. In a quiet moment, he confessed to Clara, "I didn't mean for her to lose everything." Clara, wise beyond her years, took his hand. "You told the truth," she said. "That's all you could do." The twist came months later at a town meeting. Lila, now a fixture in Willow Creek, proposed a radical idea: a forgiveness fund. She suggested the town raise money to offset part of Karen's fine. Not out of pity, but as a gesture of healing. "We can't let her define us," Lila said. "We rebuild the park, but we also rebuild trust." The idea sparked heated debate. Some, like Mayor Carter, argued Karen deserved her punishment. Others, including Clara, saw wisdom in Lila's words. The fund never materialized. Danger ran too deep, but Lila's proposal planted a seed, forcing the town to confront its own capacity for grace. Karen, meanwhile, faded from view. Her house went into foreclosure, and she moved to a small apartment on the town's outskirts. Whispers followed her, but she avoided the park, her once defiant posture replaced by a hollow quiet. The Karen flowers bloomed again the next spring, their pink petals vibrant against the restored cobblestones. Clara's sketches adorned a new community center, and Lila's presence became a bridge between past and present. Yet the victory felt bittersweet. The park was whole, but the town carried scars: distrust, division, and the lingering question of what could have been. In the end, Karen's act of destruction didn't just cost her $180,000. It cost her a place in the community she'd once called home. The Karen flowers, resilient as ever, stood as a quiet rebuke to her rage. They bloomed not for her but for those who chose to nurture them, who chose hope over hate. And Marcus, now a young man, walked the restored walkway each spring, his heart heavy with the truth he'd told and the price it carried. Willow Creek moved on, but the echo of that night lingered, a reminder that beauty, once broken, can be rebuilt but not without cost. ND